Hello everybody, this is Tom.
This is Alex.
We are in a queue for Cube is back. What kind of cube, Alex?
Modern Cube.
Modern cubes. This is not powered like vintage, and it's missing a lot of the really strong stuff that comes in legacy cubes, but everything in here is modern legal, so you will not see any Splinter Twin combos, although there is Kiki Jiki and Resto Angel. But the modern ban list is in effect. So no preordain.
And there aren't a billion legendaries. We're not in the legendary draft.
And what I like to do first is to sort, excuse me, Alex.
Sorry.
To sort by color. So you see things grouped together out of this. Out of here, there's no fetch lands. Dark Confidant is a very powerful card to start with. Mirror Battlesphere is a nice curve topper for a ramp deck or an artifact deck. Green ramp, there's a Utopia Sprawl, which goes really well with something like an Arbor Elf or a Kiora's Follower if that's in this cube, so you can get double the mana out of it. Pilgrim's Eye, fixing and making sure you hit your land drop. So I'm looking at Dark Confidant.
I like
Ancient Grudge is strong. I'm not sure how many artifacts there are.
I like Archangel Thune.
I do not. That puts you in a very narrow creature-based, lifelink-based deck.
Okay.
And that will almost certainly wheel. I think the most powerful card here is Dark Confidant. Lingering Souls is worth talking about too, although to get the full value, you have to be in 2 certain colors. Let's go into Dark Confidant and see what kind of low curve-ish deck we can draft.
Unless we win a Miracle and we lose on turn 2.
So, strong cards here. Jace, Architect of Thought. Planeswalkers are very strong in these less powered cubes. I have heard that this particular iteration they're lower on Planeswalker density. One of the best strategies in the previous iteration of the modern cube was just draft every Planeswalker you saw and as much land fixing as you can. Chromatic Lantern is a good, strong fixer. Lets you play a 5-color deck when you get it. Mind Shatter is a very strong effect as well, plus it's an X spell which goes very well with Dark Confidant. Abrade is pretty decent, nice flexible modal card there. What are you thinking here, Alex?
Jace.
You like Jace? I'm leaning more towards Mind Shatter, Chromatic Lantern. I kind of like picking up another black spell here. Mono Black is, I believe, a supported artifact in this.
Dad, remember that time we did that? We did that 100%.
So here, Alex.
I'll tell you later.
Wait till we have some time to talk about it. Sylvan Caryatid is another strong mana fixer. Condescend is a nice little X spell that would go well. Duress goes well with Dark Confidant. Liliana, you really want to have lots of creatures when you're in Liliana, but it is a fairly strong card when you do have a lot of other creatures. Which you can see the backside here, returning something from your graveyard is strong, each player discarding, so it's a little bit like...
What does Yahenni's Expertise do?
Yahenni's Expertise lets you cast a spell for free, and it's also a board wipe. So that's a pretty decent spell.
I like Liliana here.
I don't know that we're going to be going for a lot of creatures in our deck. We're so far on some disruption spells, so I'm thinking either Duress or Yahenni's Expertise. Star Compass is good in a multicolored deck. I think I'm going to grab this Duress. Here now there's fewer strong spells. I don't see a good black spell that's going to go with our Dark Confidant.
What does the merge do again?
The merge is you sacrifice another creature and it helps you it allows you to, so I could sacrifice a 5 CMC creature and it would essentially only cost me 2.
So you have a merge cost, you sacrifice something, and it decreases it by its CMC.
Correct.
But it has to be at least black in this case.
Here, I'm wondering if we want to go something like Pyroclasm. Tasigur is a delve card. It's a good strong card to go if we're playing more of a control route. I would like to pair blue with black if I could. Pyroclasm is another choice for another more of a controlling deck. Tasigur is very strong, though. I'm going to grab that. It's on the more expensive end of spells I'd like to cast when I have a Dark Confidant.
I've always had fun with Figure of Destiny.
Yes, I used to have that in a white creature-based modern deck I had. Here's a very clear Polluted Delta. Any fetch lands in your colors you want to pick up fairly highly. There's nothing super strong we're missing here. There is This is a very good sign that there is a Black Devotion deck that is supported. Ideally, the best card in it you want to get is a Gray Merchant of Asphodel, which drains your opponent based on how much your devotion to black is. But we're going to grab fetch land in our color here, especially since we'd like to pair blue with this if we can. Pack Rat. I'm very surprised this is still in the pack. This is one of the strongest cards you can get in a non-powered cube because it doesn't need anything else in your deck to work. You could literally play Pack Rat and 39 Swamps and mulligan until you have a Pack Rat and have a playable deck. Wouldn't be the greatest at that point, but it is a super strong card.
Do you know how many times I lost this card in the Theros slot while we were still in Theros?
It was a major component of the Mono Black Devotion deck. If that weren't here, I do like Never to Return. Get 2 spells for 1 and destroy any creature or any planeswalker is real strong. Tragic Slip can be decent as well. I like where this is going so far.
Massacre Worm, just for fun.
Massacre Worm, although we're getting in more expensive spells, I think I'm more likely here to pick up either Burst Lightning to go with our kind of control theme, or Farseek. Because especially, and Sakura Tribe seems to be nobody's picking up the green fixing. If we start wheeling some of those more fixing cards we saw, we could be going with some very strong cards here. I do like Farseek a little better than Sakura Tribe Elder, although if it's paired with black, we may have some recursion effects.
Ooh, they're using.
But Farseek does let you get dual lands.
They're using the
shock lands
from the vault and treat the angels.
Green and black cards. So I saw people questioning why Hapatra is in this cube because there's not really a lot of support for it. It's really only good if it's getting through. Mana Gorger can get real strong if it's not taken care of immediately. Whip of Erebos goes extremely well with Pack Rat if we're discarding cards. Asylum Visitor.
How Madness work you getting?
Madness is you can cast it for its madness cost if you would discard that card.
If an effect would cause you to discard that card, you can cast it for its madness cost.
I'm gonna go. I wound up with a sound this. I did not have time to think that through. Well, there's Utopia Sprawl. But I think the effect of Den Protector, getting back anything in your deck, in your graveyard, is much stronger than Utopia Sprawl. Plus, it's a morph creature, so I can cast... Oh, it's a megamorph creature, technically. I can cast it for 3 black mana if I haven't been able to pick up any green yet. That is going to go in my 3 slot. Here, I'm going to get Traverse. I don't know if I'll run it, but it's a nice cheap spell. Can get some value. Delirium allows you to get a creature instead of a land.
Remember my one deck where it was just green-black? We only played it for about a week because it went out of standard almost as soon as we made it.
No,
it was green-black. It was 100% ramp. It was in shadows.
We'll have to talk about it later, baby.
All right.
I'm not even sure what this does. Enters the battlefield, draw a card, cast a creature spell, you can bring it back from your graveyard to your hand. Well, we're not ramp, and that's what Nest Invader is. So the other multicolored cards are not coming back. I'm going to grab Geralt's Messenger here. It's a nice strong card that comes back after it dies. It comes back stronger than it was. It does go better in a more aggressive deck, which this is not. I'm not so into playing a green-black deck at the moment, even though I have a bunch of green cards, just because these green cards are not very strong.
Massacre Worm, I'm happy that wheeled.
That comes back. It's possible I'll play it, although I'm wary of having 2 6-drops in my deck with the Dark Confidant. But you know what? Most of your games, you're not going to have Dark Confidant. Alright, so what do we have here? Overgrown Tomb jumps out immediately, especially with that Polluted Delta we have. There's some quite strong blue cards as well with Mana Leak and Cyclonic Rift. Maelstrom Pulse is just destroy any permanent. If you're dealing against some kind of token deck, you can take out a bunch of permanents at the same time. But I like mana fixing quite a bit here. I'm going to grab the Overgrown Tomb.
Why is the demon in Zendikar?
Why is what demon in Zendikar?
The demon in Zendikar.
Perhaps it was a reprint. I do recall playing this in some more recent set. Was it like Shadows? Shadow over Innistrad? Or Eldritch
Shadows
Moon,
didn't have
perhaps?
demons. Shadows and Eldritch didn't have demons this time around. The original block did have demons in it.
Maybe it was Battle for Zendikar then, and this came back. It looks like that was original Zendikar.
Yeah, that's the original. The second one is the second Zendikar set.
Here we have some more strong green cards. Although that's a strong green ramp card. This is
there
a
are
strong green
4
ramp card as
planeswalkers
well.
in this.
Reanimation spell can go well with Pack Rat. Be nice to discard things like Tasker, get them back with Unburial Rights. I believe Reanimator is well supported in this deck, but Reanimator and Dark Confidant don't go well together because when you have Reanimator, you want big fatties to throw in your graveyard, but you would rather not draw them. Nyxlis Reignited is a strong control card. Frankly, so is Gonti. It kind of draws you a card for free. Spellskite fights combo decks, but I'm not sure that there are many combo decks in this iteration.
That art is
What do you
really
think
cool.
here, Alex?
I like Nyxlis just because planeswalkers are awesome.
I do like good planeswalkers.
Also, that Spellskite art is really cool.
Here we kind of have a choice. If we know we want to be green, grabbing a one-drop ramp spell is strong. Even if you're not ramping past 4 or 5, just helping you get there faster is good. But frankly, Hero's Downfall, destroying any creature or planeswalker at instant speed, is quite good. So
Especially when there are a lot of planeswalkers in the cube.
So let's grab that. I'm here looking at Watery Grave, Doomblade, or Soul Reap. That's interesting. What do you think among these, Alex? Venser is quite a strong card, but I think double blue is beyond our abilities at the moment.
And what is Tooth
Unless
and
we
Nail
grab
do?
the Watery Grave, but then I'd be more... Tooth and Nail is a ramp spell.
You
Grabs
can pay an extra 2 to do both.
to both get the creatures from your library into your hand and put them onto the battlefield, correct? Here, I think it's a Doomblade. Being instant is much better than the sorcery speed. Here, I think we're looking at this. We've got a lot of strong control cards currently. We are looking for more ways to actually finish the game. Profane Command, if this is in the cube, would be excellent because it's an X spell, but it can end the game for you. Pack Rat is a game ender. Tasker and Massacre Worm each are okay. I'd rather find some that are strong, but in the 4 and 5 range, if that's possible. We'll see what we can get here. Well, for example, Grey Merchant of Asphodel. That is a game ender. We actually don't have a whole lot of permanence. But that's a reason to bring
that
Geralt's Messenger back in. But I'm going to grab this now. It's unfortunate that Verdant Catacombs is going, but we already have 2 strong pieces of fixing if we do want to be playing green, but that's looking less and less likely now that we have
our Grey Merchant. We might just do mono black.
Grey Merchant. What did we take over the whip, Alex? Do you remember?
We took the whip? I didn't even see that.
No, what did we take over the whip?
Oh, over the whip?
There were 3 good black cards in that pack, I think, and I don't recall. I feel like Yahenni's was one of them, too.
No, yeah, Henny's Wield, so... This was also... Yahenni also had...
Ambition's Cost is...
I think that was the one where we accidentally took a Silent Visitor.
Possibly. I don't know, accidentally is quite the right word. We were just indecisive. Ambition's Cost. I haven't seen this card in Cube before. You draw 3 cards and lose 3 life.
I don't know if we want that. Well, with our Nyxlis and Dark Confidant, we have Grey Merchant to gain us more life, but...
Draw 3 cards is incredibly strong. Might be on the lookout. I really wish we had taken the whip at that point now.
No, it's
for some more lifelink, but I'm going to grab this. It's a very strong card, and I don't want the 6-drop. Vampire Hexmage I will take. I'm not certain I'll...
If we see any more... Sorry.
I'm not certain we will play it, but it might be a sideboard card. It's great. You can sacrifice it to kill any Planeswalker. Goes well since we just have Grey Merchant in our deck, and it's good against aggressive decks because a first strike creature with 2 power is hard to get through.
We also might want to take some enchantment removal in case our Dark Confidant is getting out of hand.
We're not going to find enchantment removal in black, and I'm not sure why enchantment removal would do anything with Dark Confidant.
Dang it, I thought it was an enchantment.
No,
it's a creature.
Yeah, so you can kill your own Dark Confidant. We'll take the Abyssal Persecutor. I'm looking for how many ways do we have to kill it right now, currently? Ob Nixilis kills it. Dismember does not kill it. Hero's Downfall, so that's 2. Doomblade doesn't kill it. We only have 2 ways to kill it, so I'm not thinking of running it currently. Because you definitely need to be able to get rid of it once it does what it does. So here's a 4-drop that does things excellently as well as Abyssal Persecutor. I will take the Sidisi. I'm not sure I'll play it.
What does Exploit do? When it exploits a creature?
Exploiting a creature is sacrificing a creature, and including it sacrificing itself. You must sacrifice it. Let's see. You must, or is it a may? I'm trying to remember. I believe it's a may. No, I'm not so sure. Do you remember, Alex, if it's a may effect or a must effect?
What? When something
Exploit.
happens?
When it enters the battlefield, do you have to sacrifice it?
No, it's a may. I'm pretty sure it's a may.
I know it can sacrifice itself. So the black-green deck you were trying to recall, Alex.
Alright. It was during Shadows. I'm trying to remember.
There was a black-green -1/-1 counter deck.
No, it was...
No, that's later than
no.
that.
It used Traversal Ulvenwald.
Ulvenwald.
Ulvenwald is German. I don't remember. It just has a bunch of big green and black fatties.
I don't recall.
I think there was something that had power and toughness equal to the number of lands you control, which was like the huge thing about it.
Well, if any of our listeners remember what that was, feel free to let us know in the comments. They're looking for more 1-drops. We're a little low on early interaction. And I wouldn't mind some slightly cheaper things. A Damnation would be really nice. Probably going to try to drop one of these. If we can't activate Tasker, I'm not going to play it. Night Veil Spectre is a strong black devotion.
Night gets rid of her Abysmal Demon.
Non-vampire gets rid of a whole heck of a lot. Everflowing Chalice is probably the other consideration here. I don't think any of our green spells are strong enough to run. Den Protector is probably the best one of them. Put that to the side for a minute. Chalice.
Is Multi-Kicker part of the CMC when it's casted or no?
It is not. It does not add to its...
Which is the difference between Multi-Kicker and XX.
Correct. I think here the Victim of the Night... I think this is one of the best removals. Not all that many vampires, werewolves, or zombies around.
It's an almost unconditional removal.
It's about as close as you get at instant speed. Alright, I don't think I'm playing a Runescarred Demon in this deck, although it is a very strong effect. So I have either Read the Bones, which kind of does the same thing as Ambition's Cost, but 1 fewer cards, but it gives you the Scry, which is very strong, or Oblivion Stone, which is just a Wrath, and I'm not minding a Wrath in this deck.
Ooh, Vraska. I love Vraska.
If I was more strongly in green-black, I would take it, but I don't think it's a good reason to be that here. So it's either Skin Render, or Vendetta. Vendetta's some more life loss, and we have 2 strong, cheap removal spells already. I'm going to go with the Skin Render, which is 2 goals for us. It is a... 2 black for our Devotion to Black, and it's also removal on top of it, so it's a pretty strong card.
I just learned something that I'm really happy about. Vraska will most likely be coming back in the Ixalan block.
Vraska is coming back. We have seen it.
We have seen her on the art of a card.
Her card has been spoiled too. I think it was spoiled today or maybe late yesterday.
I'll have to check. I'm so happy. I love Vraska. She was my first Planeswalker. That was my favorite Planeswalker. Now I'm on Team Nissa. Dad's always been Team Jace.
Here we can have two choices. It's either another draw spell or another removal spell. I like this removal spell with Awaken. That was a nice additional bonus to be added onto this card because it gives you a possible win condition.
It's 7 mana for an alternate. It's an alternate casting cost of 7 mana to also get a 4/4 land. Correct?
Correct. It puts +4 +1/+1 counters on your land, and turns your land into a creature.
Permanently, it's still a land.
It is both a land and a creature, so more things can interact with it. You got to be careful, make sure you're not putting it on a land you need.
It's a 4/4 Arbor Dryad.
Dryad.
Yes, it's a 4/4 Arbor Dryad. What do you think I said?
Slaughter Pact.
Slaughter Pact.
100% here. 0 mana interaction spell with our good for Dark Confidant. Not a question here. Vampire Nighthawk is just a fine little mid-range card that will keep you alive for a while.
And it has no legal targets for Victim of... Then it's not a legal target for Victim of Night.
It is not. Icy Manipulator, though, is also a very strong card. Although, I'm leaning more towards the Nighthawk here, because we could use that life
that
gain.
lifelink.
Icy Manipulator is super strong, though. I'm actually honestly surprised to see it this late because it goes well in any deck.
We're not actually that late, even.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, 5th pick is very late for Icy Manipulator. It can go in any deck, and it does well in any deck. It's a Mazavith when you need it to be, but here I'm taking the Nighthawk specifically because
we need life gain from...
We need life gain. We're paying life for Ambition's Cost. We're paying life for Dismember. We're paying life for Dark Confidant.
And Nyxlis. His +1 is life.
So here I'm looking at either Terramorphic Expanse because we have enough playables, and just being able to thin your deck out slightly is a minor amount of value.
Pitiless Horde would not be good for us. We do not need more life loss.
I am not... No, that is not aggressive. Despise is a decent card. I'm not sure how strong it is. It's very strong in just plain old ordinary limited because most of your opponent's cards will be creatures. Planeswalkers don't really matter so much there. But I'm not sure in Cube. If it was Vintage or Legacy Cube, it would definitely be no. But I think I've got plenty of things I would play over it anyway, so I'm going to just grab the Terramorphic Expanse. And here we have more great black spells. Well, Crypt Gas gives us tons and tons of mana, plus Extort is... whenever you cast a black spell, you can pay 1.
It's black or white because you can play black or white.
And it pays 1.
Hold on, what does Herald of Torment do?
It's an aggressive card.
It's more life loss.
It's a pretty good aggressive card, but I don't think
it's a Bestow card. I haven't seen one of those in a while.
No, and I loved Bestow cards. That was one of my favorite mechanics from that set.
Chromatic Core.
We'll put the Knight's Veil Spectre down there. Windsguard Demon will go on our sideboard.
How good is an energy card actually in this? These
cards are
in the cube when there's
Perilous Mirror dies. That's pretty bad. Unless is there a sacrifice theme in this cube?
Not that I could tell.
Hornet Nest is kind of fun. Very annoying for your opponents to deal with. Alright, so we now have cuts to think about here.
27 cards. Just since we have so much high mana stuff, could we take out Dark Confidant?
No, I want to play with Dark Confidant. Which what that means, though, is I want to start cutting down on the number of expensive things I have here. So I think Tastrica goes because we don't have green or blue.
Yes.
Overgrown Tomb goes, but Polluted Delta can still stay in because it just thins your deck out. Alright, 1-drops. Duress is great, Slaughter Pact is great. Silent Visitor, I think, is mediocre.
Slaughter Pact is a 1-drop, so we can't play until at least turn 2. No, at least turn 3.
Correct, but it's a cheap interactive spell. We don't have any well, do we have any discard effects? We have Pack Rat, which means we can get a little bit of a value for a Silent Visitor. I don't think there's any other Our extort card goes really, really well with our minus with our life paying abilities. So I like that.
What does Skin Render do again?
Gonti's just kind of a random value card, so that's on my chopping block.
What does Skin Render do?
Skin Render will put 3 -1/-1 counters on a creature, so it's removal on a body on Devotion. Fantastic card for our deck.
And it's lasts if it's not complete.
I really wish we'd grabbed that
Whip.
the Whip of Erebos.
That whip would be great, giving everything lifelink.
Vampire Hexmage is just kind of randomly okay, but otherwise not all that useful. I think that's gonna go. We might have too much removal. Is that too much to say? I don't know. Nightveil Spectre is just kind of a random value card. Drolf's Messenger. It's more of an aggressive card, but it also just keeps you alive because it comes back even stronger.
Because Undying is stronger, Persist is less strong.
Undying puts a +1/+1 counter on it. If it didn't have a +1/+1 counter, Persist comes back with a -1/-1 counter if it didn't have a -1/-1 counter. Yohenni's Expertise and Drolf's Messenger go very well together. You kill it and it comes back right away.
Interestingly, if we use our Vampire Hexmage, we can get the Undead card to come back over and over again. Well,
once.
Once.
You can get one extra activation out of it. I don't think that's enough of a combo to make it worthwhile. Alright, so let's ask ourselves, we play the Abyssal Persecutor. What do we need to find? We need to find Victim of the Night, Hero's Downfall, Ruinous Path, Oblivion Stone, a combination of Skin Render and Dismember, but I'm not going to count that, or Skin Render and Yohenni's Expertise, or Obnixilis.
Because we don't want to make it smaller without killing it, because that just makes it worse for us.
Well, once it's done, the amount of damage it needs to do, it doesn't matter too much.
So we have, like, if we can get them to negative whatever.
We have to find one of 5 ways of killing it. And we have some extra ways of finding that. Sidisi helps us find it. Ambition's Cost helps us find it.
Dark Confidant helps us find them.
Dark Confidant helps us find it. Those 3 things. Mind Shatter's random, right? Yeah, it's like Mind Twist, but paying 1 extra, it's still a really good card.
What is that? Oh, it's discard X cards at random.
Yep. Yeah, so you cast it on turn 4, turn 5, get their last 2 or 3 cards. At that point, if they've drawn a bunch of cards, you get a lot more. You know, the fact that it's 2 instead of 1 black mana really makes a difference, because you can get to the point where it's actually worse or no better than Mind Rot for 1 more mana. If they have 2 cards in hand, you're paying 4 to make them discard them both instead of 3 with a Mind Rot effect.
But if it's more than 2, it's worth it.
So we can actually bring one of these cards back down. What do you think, Alex? Do we have enough ways to deal with Abyssal Persecutor? And if we remove Abyssal Persecutor, do we have enough ways to win the game? How are we winning the game? And Obnixilis is
what does his emblem do?
Whenever a player draws a card, you lose 2 life.
So it's not a win condition.
Yes, it is, because the opponent gets the emblem.
Oh, okay.
So win conditions are Obnixilis, Ruinous Path, because it can make a 4/4. So DC can theoretically get there over time, if it's just bigger than everything and you're killing other things. Grey Merchant can kill them. Massacre Worm can kill them. Very slowly, Vampire Nighthawk can kill them. And Pack Rat. So we actually have a fair number. I'm not positive we need Abyssal Persecutor.
Yeah.
If we take out Abyssal Persecutor, I think we can take out Sidisi and bring our curve down a little bit for Dark Confidant purposes.
But then we need to add in...
or we can take out Massacre Worm and only bring it in... Only bring it in when we're facing small creature decks. And then we could bring back in some of the value 3 and 4 drops. And 2 drops even. The Silent Visitor gets better when our curve is lower because we empty our hand a little better, a little quicker. What do you think, Alex?
I like this.
You like this?
What does Soren do?
Soren's a strong card, but we don't have any real white fixing for it other than the Terramorphic Expanse, and I think we've got enough top end currently. Soren is a win condition all by itself, but I'm not looking at.
He makes a bunch of knights.
Question: Tasigur and Runescar Demon.
What does Runescar Demon do? Enters the battlefield.
It's a tutor when it comes into the battlefield.
But it's really expensive.
Right.
I like this right now.
We've got some very strong sideboarding options. Alright, let's add some...
Whoa. Alright, so all black?
All black to it, I think.
We have a Night Veil Spectre, but there's no point in putting blue.
We don't want blue, so we'll put those in the blacks. Add it to the deck. Save it. Alright, let us know in the comments or send us a message if you think there's something else you would have picked or built differently. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the games coming next.